Boy, talking about calling the market correctly, but not capitalizing on it. That was the story today. Hey, fellow traders, it's Black Coffee Trader. It is Thursday, June 26th. Time to do the daily recap, or today's recap. So, as you can see, a very, very small green day on the funded accounts, up 90 bucks, basically $30 per account. The sad news is that was up 170, had a very disappointing loss right here, very disappointing loss on the NASDAQ around the noon hour. I called the market really well this morning. My game plan was that if we break on the Dow Jones, if we break the daily 200 moving average, I would be looking for longs. I also was looking on the Russell that if we break and hold above this 2163 area, I wanted to look for a break and retest along there. I took that trade, pretty good trade. Actually, it was a decent trade. I had a nice win rate there, so I can't be too dissatisfied, but I did trail my stop a little bit too tightly. I got taken out and we got a tremendous move on the Russell, so I missed an opportunity there. I'm not as sad about that. The Dow Jones one, I'm a little bit more upset about. Again, a few things to talk about here. The real entry was waiting for this to pull back to this high of day from yesterday, which I was not, I don't know. I really wanted the market to stay above the daily 200 moving average. I didn't really want to take a long into it. So, hindsight's 2020, but anyway, I took the long here. We had a huge move at the open, big move at the open. This is what it looked like. So I just took the long because it was so strong, and I thought I'm just going to take the long with two contracts. My $200 risk puts my stop way down here, so I could comfortably hold through some drawdown if I needed to, which I did, and held through all this. I had my stop sitting right about just below these wicks, thinking if it actually breaks the high of day from yesterday, I'll just take a 110 loss and be out of the trade. Well, it rebounded. We pushed up nicely, got my first profit target here after sitting in the trade for an hour and a half, and then I started trailing my stop, and I was just a little too aggressive. One of the rules is once I hit my first profit target, my stop goes to break even. Once I hit my second profit target, then it goes to the first profit target. Well, only two contracts, and I started trailing it. I was just kind of got cold feet on the trade, and I really missed a big opportunity there. So instead of being out there with what, 80 some dollars, that should have been a let's go to two contracts. If I buy that, an entry right here, whoops, we just move this over so we can see, but I'm pretty sure I would have gotten my full, I know I would have gotten my full target. Yeah, I would have easily gotten my full target. So hindsight is 2020. That should have been a $150 trade instead of an $80 trade, which is not that big of a deal, but it's a little bit frustrating that I called it correctly. And again, I talked about this a few videos ago about holding on to these trades and sticking to the game plan, allowing the trade to run, and trailing the stop appropriately. Here, I trailed it too aggressively. I should have just waited until we got higher and then trailed the stop. So, I don't know. Hindsight's 2020. I can't be too sad about it, but still, I called it correctly. I called the move correctly and just didn't quite execute. The last trade of the day, or the third trade, only took three of them. This one right here, this one I'm pretty sad about. This is just a very frustrating. It's hard not to get frustrated when this happens. So, break and retest, what I'm looking for is I'm looking for the market to break a key area that I've got, a key level that I've got marked. And so we broke it here, and I was going to be done for the day after being up, 170 per account. Nice day, got my drawdown back, decently. I felt good about the morning session. Even though I didn't execute those trades quite like I should have. And then I saw this start to form. I was not planning on trading, and I saw this start to pull back and hold above this level. And I was like, wow, I got to try that. I got to take the shot. And everything looked strong for a continuation upside. We had several wicks holding, just the wicks falling through that level. And I thought, man, if we start to fall below there and fall below the 21 EMA, I probably should kill that trade. We push back up, I get green, and then it pulls back down. And I hold on to this and it again pushes back up and it starts to fade. And at the same time, ES was not falling apart as the NASDAQ started to lose ground. And my stop was sitting like right here was my $200 stop. And this thing just kept pushing down. And I finally I was like, man, I'm gonna have to get out of this trade. And I killed it for $140 loss, took the accounts down to where you see them. And what does the stupid market do but hold right at that level for, I don't know, half hour. And then we take this entire move higher. So just it is difficult when that happens, but it's a part of trading, I guess. I've seen it before. I felt so strongly that this was going to hold, but it just kept selling, and I didn't want to take a full loss on it. And, I was past where I had said I was going to get out. I was going to get out when we get a full candle body close below the 21 EMA. And just because ES seemed to be holding, I thought, man, I'll just give it a little bit. And we just started falling apart. And so I got out. And what does that thing do? It goes all the way back up. Now look at what this would have been had I held on to that trade. Whoops, I was in with 3 contracts, not 2. By click. So I would have gotten out of there with a full first 2 profit targets hit easily. So, and I would have gotten stopped out had I followed my rules.
Order submitted.
Oh, I can't place the order, I know. I would have gotten stopped out on my 3rd trade, or my 3rd target. So I would have gotten 50, 100, it would have been a $200 trade. So you take 170 in the morning and another 200, it should have been a, $370 day, even $300. I mean, hello. So would have been a beautiful bounce back day after that big losing day I had yesterday. So I don't know. It's just, that's one of those you just have to deal with, and it is what it is. I did walk away after that. I closed on the charts, and temporarily. I looked at it like somewhere here, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. We broke right above there. When this thing started holding, I just said, I gotta walk away. And I opened it back up somewhere here. I don't know, maybe an hour later. And I said, this is crazy. It went right back up, gave me another break and retest, and the move continued, which I could have held all the way through. I had drawdown left. I mean, my stop was sitting down here. Just, that's a frustrating trade. So anyway, it sucks to give back, and I didn't want to trade after that, because even that this was frustrating, and I knew that if I would take another trade, I'd force something and we would take this day and turn it red, and I did not want to do that. I'd rather have a tiny little green day and deal with the painful loss of just the market being the market. I definitely don't dispute that. That's a good entry. Everything about that setup was what I'm looking for. It just for whatever reason pushed down further, and then it went. So be it. But anyway, it's a green day, and we'll chalk it up for that, take it for that. $90, 66% win rate. The problem really was, goodness mouse, small winners, two winners averaged 85, and then that one loser 140. So didn't really do much in the little green day, basically break even day. So anyway, that is that. Evals didn't really do much there. All these accounts are resetting because it's late when I'm recording this, but I was down, I don't know, 50 to $100 per eval, so nothing major there. So that's the long and the short of today. So I guess tomorrow's Friday. We'll wrap it up tomorrow, and hopefully we can have a green day. I really want to save these accounts. We're 30, I can't do math real quick, 2,600, about 3,400 away from a payout. So it's not like we have to make 4,000 to get to a payout. It's not like these accounts are way down. They're underwater a little bit, but anyway, that's the goal. Try to get them to pay out and hang on to these things and push them back higher. So anyway, thanks for following along. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for using code BCT. By the way, Apex decided to have another one day off, and I think we have a new 80% sale. So 80% off on Apex. So thanks for using my code. Those of you that do, BCT gets you the best deal with Apex, Take Profit Trader, TradeZella, and also Affordable Indicators. So once again, thanks for using my code, supporting the channel. I appreciate that. Thanks for following along. Have a great night. Have a good day tomorrow, and let's keep stacking some green. Take care, and so long.